Angeles City nightlife starts at 10 a.m. Yes, you heard that right. 10 in the morning. So why does nightlife start that early here? And how does this place actually work? That's something you won't really find in travel blogs or generic tourist guides. Here on Lazy Nomad, I show nightlife scenes the way they really are. Straight from the ground. Tested, walked through, experienced personally. No rumors, no recycled internet content, no generic travel guides. Just real nightlife intel from the streets of Southeast Asia. Because nightlife here actually works very differently from places like Bangkok or Pattaya. So if you're curious how Angeles City nightlife really works, stay with me. And if you want to explore the area yourself, check the links in the description. You'll find a custom Angeles City nightlife map for easy navigation, plus guides to nightlife across Southeast Asia. Let's start with the most important thing you need to understand about this place. If you're coming to Angeles City for the first time, the good news is, everything here is incredibly easy to navigate. Unlike places like Pattaya or Bangkok, where nightlife spreads across multiple districts, Angeles keeps everything very compact. Almost the entire nightlife scene is concentrated around Red Street, which is part of Mango Avenue, plus a few small surrounding alleys branching off from it. And that's exactly why many travelers like this place so much. You don't need taxis, you don't need to plan routes. You can literally walk from one venue to another in seconds. Bikini Bars, Hostess bars, sports bars, KTV venues, massage spots, nightclubs. Everything is packed into a very small, walkable area. Step out of one place, walk 20 meters, and you're already in front of something completely different. In terms of efficiency, Angeles might actually be one of the most compact nightlife zones in Southeast Asia. Now here's something that surprises many first-time visitors. Nightlife here technically starts around 10 a.m. Yes, you heard that right. Some venues on Red Street start opening late in the morning, and music can already be playing while most tourists are still recovering from the night before. So why does Angeles work this way? I'll explain that in a minute. Because the rhythm of this city is very different from other nightlife destinations. But once you understand how this area is laid out, you can start exploring the different types of nightlife Angeles is known for. If there is one type of venue that really defines Red Street, it's the Bikini Bars. They are basically the core of the whole area, and honestly one of the main reasons why nightlife here starts so early in the morning. Now the name can be a little misleading. They call them Bikini Bars, but in reality most of them function very much like go-go style venues, just with some local Filipino specifics. Girls dancing on stage, interacting with guests, people having drinks and socializing. It's a very lively, open atmosphere. But in Angeles, you'll notice these venues can roughly be divided into two slightly different styles. The first type is the classic Filipino bikini bar. These places are very interactive. Girls dancing, chatting with customers, people sitting around the stage having drinks. Venues like Viking, for example, follow that traditional style. But over the years, Angeles also became a major nightlife destination for visitors from other parts of Asia, especially South Korea. And that audience often has a different daily rhythm. Many groups like to start their nights, or even their afternoons, much earlier. That's one of the reasons some venues open very early in the day, and surprisingly, they can already be busy from the morning. Some bikini bars adapted to this clientele as well. In those places, the shows can feel a bit more polished and staged, sometimes slightly more theatrical rather than purely interactive. Venues like Nigtlifr Club are a good example of that style. That doesn't mean the crowds are separated though. In reality, the clientele usually blends together, with travelers, expats, and visitors from many different countries mixing across both types of venues. And like in every nightlife district, some bars clearly stand out for quality, while others are better left unexplored. Because in Angeles, the scene changes very quickly. Bars open, close, rebrand, and new spots appear all the time. Which is why understanding how Red Street actually works makes a huge difference when you start exploring the nightlife here. But bikini bars are only one part of the Angeles nightlife puzzle, because just a few steps away from here, you'll find a completely different type of venue that many first-time visitors don't expect. While bikini bars are definitely the core of Red Street nightlife, they're not the only type of venues you'll find here. Scattered along Mango Avenue and tucked into some of the smaller surrounding alleys, you'll also come across a number of Hostess bars and sports bars. These places usually have a much more relaxed vibe compared to the louder venues on the main strip. Hostess bars tend to be smaller and more social, places where people sit down, have drinks, chat, and just enjoy the atmosphere. Sports bars, on the other hand, are exactly what the name suggests. Big screens showing international games, plenty of cold beer, simple food, and a mix of travelers and long-term expats hanging out. They can actually be great spots to slow the night down for a bit. You can sit with a drink, grab some food, watch a game, or simply do one of the best activities in any nightlife district: people watching. Because on Red Street, the street itself is almost as entertaining as the venues around it. And once you're ready to move on, the next stop in Angeli's nightlife can be something completely different again. Later in the video, I'll show you the clubs where the real party happens. Another type of venue you'll often see around Mango Avenue and the nearby alleys are KTV bars. KTV basically means karaoke, but instead of singing in front of a whole bar, most places here work with private karaoke rooms. Groups rent a room, order drinks, sing, hang out, and spend the night together in their own little space. Over the years, the strong Korean presence in Angeles City also had a big influence on this part of the nightlife. A lot of KTV venues adapted to that crowd. Bigger rooms, more polished interiors, and a setup designed more for groups who want privacy, rather than the open stage style you see in many bars on Red Street. So KTV places can feel a bit different from the venues on the main strip, but they're still very much part of the Angeles nightlife landscape. And depending on what kind of night you're looking for, they can offer a completely different vibe compared to the louder bars nearby. Let me know in the comments if you've experienced KTV nightlife anywhere in Asia. You'll also notice quite a few massage parlors around Mango Avenue and the nearby streets. Some of them are simple massage places, while others are more spa-style venues, with things like jacuzzi rooms, sauna areas, and spaces where you can relax for a while. After a long night out on Red Street, some people stop by these places to unwind and recharge before heading back to their hotel. But interestingly, they can also work the other way around. Some visitors actually come here before the night really begins. A quick massage or spa session to relax, recharge a bit of energy, and then head out to the clubs. Because nightclubs are a big part of Angeles nightlife. And personally, that's one of the parts I find the most interesting. Surprisingly energetic, interactive, and oftentimes very rewarding. And well, those who know, they know. And then we come to nightclubs, which for many visitors are the real peak of nightlife in Angeles City. While Red Street starts warming up earlier in the evening, the real party usually begins after midnight. That's when the clubs start filling up and the energy shifts from bar hopping to full party mode. The two places that usually dominate the scene are Hammer and Megadance. Both attract a mix of travelers, expats, and locals. And once the music gets going, the whole place quickly fills up. Music here is usually EDM, house, commercial dance, and hip-hop. And the crowd is surprisingly diverse. You'll see groups of friends, tourists visiting the city, and plenty of locals coming out to enjoy the night. If you're planning to check out the clubs, it's actually a good idea to arrive a little earlier, especially if you're coming solo. Getting a good position before the dance floor fills up makes the whole experience much easier. And if you're coming with friends, booking a VIP table is usually a great move. Even for solo visitors, a small VIP table can work surprisingly well. I've done that myself many times, and it makes the night very comfortable. You have your own space, your drinks, and you don't need to fight through the crowd. One thing that often surprises first-time visitors is how easy and natural the social interaction can be in these clubs. Girls come here in groups, sometimes alone, just to enjoy the music and the party atmosphere. You'll often notice smiles, eye contact, little signals across the dance floor. The whole vibe is very open and social. You don't need to overcomplicate it. If you see someone you'd like to talk to, invite them over to your table, start a conversation, share a drink, enjoy the music. Very often it's simply people dancing, talking, and enjoying the night together. And honestly, That's one of the things I personally like the most about Angeles nightlife. It feels natural, relaxed, and surprisingly easy to connect with people. For me, Mega Dance has always been a favorite. When the music gets going and the crowd fills the place, it really feels like a playground for nightlife lovers. And nights there can easily turn into something very different from what you originally planned. So as you can see, Angeles City nightlife is a little different from other places in Southeast Asia. It has its own rhythm. Things start very early in the day and the energy can easily continue late into the night. Because everything here is so compact, you can explore a lot in a single evening. From relaxed bars and KTV spots to clubs that really come alive after midnight. And the best part is that everyone can find something that fits their style. If you want to explore the area yourself, check the links in the description. I've included a nightlife map of Angeles City, as well as guides covering nightlife across Southeast Asia. And if you enjoy these kinds of real, on-the-ground nightlife guides, don't forget to subscribe and drop a like. It really helps the channel grow. But what you've seen in this video is really just the surface. Every nightlife scene has deeper layers, places, tips, and insights that most visitors only discover after spending time in the city. That's the part I usually share underground. So if you want to learn more, get deeper insights, and be part of the Southeast Asian nightlife community, you can join the Lazy Nomad VIP Club. You'll find the link in the description below. Thanks for tagging along with Lazy Nomad. Until our paths cross again in the neon-lit streets of Southeast Asia, keep exploring, but always keep it lazy. Good night, and see you on the next adventure.